All right. Oh, this may not last too long. Get my computer working here. Hold on. True South. What's going on there, buddy? See how this is working on there, but my computer is acting all screwy here tonight. See if I can get this going. Not sure what the problem is here. Having some technical difficulties here. For some reason, we switch internets there. See if that works a little bit better. You're not connected to the internet now. My goodness. Well, the phone's working, it looks like. There we go. Okay. All right. So 720. There we go. All right. Now we're up and running. It looks like. For now, at least, we got some storms coming through today, so not sure how good the signal will be, or the audio, or all that stuff. So, Robert Kasich. Probably saying your name wrong there, Robert. Where we at here? So, there's Cody Bryant. How you doing there, Cody? Rooster down in Carolina. A few people watching. Well, if you guys can hear it, but the rain is still falling down. It's been raining here for the past probably since about 4 o'clock. Very rainy evening here in Tennessee. There's Dick in Georgia, Maine, Will in Alabama. All kinds of people on here. Crossroads, Connecticut, here just great. We're good. Syracuse. I'm not doing live in a little while, so I thought I would jump on here. I need to try to do these on a more regular basis, but I just get busy here and I forget about them. Forget about them, and things happen, and I don't get them done. Okay, so where we at here? All right, there's True South Sawmill. That's my friend down in Carolina. Well, let's talk wood. I tell you what, Corey, I saw a post today on the Wood Miser group, on the old Facebook group there, and I don't even comment on these things anymore. A guy had some 8x8s on there. The pith was split right down the middle, and he was pretty much wanting somebody's permission that it was good enough to sell, I guess. And there was like 15 or 20 comments on there, and almost every comment was good enough for me. You know, if you nail it down, it'll be okay. I tell you, man, there is a huge, I guess you would say, there's a huge movement of sawmill guys who are getting sawmills because they've become so popular in the past few years. But they're some of them aren't doing what's proper, man. What's terrible, and kills me seeing that stuff on there. I used to comment, not try to call people out. I would comment to try to help them out, and kind of lead them down a better road on how to saw better, and they just get mad at you because of being you. I know, man. And it's like Danny would always say, you know, Corey. Danny would always tell people, you know, I'm just telling you what the rules are. I didn't write the rule book. You know, I don't decide how trees grow and how they act, but people certainly do get upset over that. And so for all you new sawmill guys out there, my goodness, do some research and try to do things right. Just don't throw, you just can't throw a log up there and just start sawing. It just, you know, there's a lot more to it than just sawing up a log. If you know what I mean. Common sense prevails. You're exactly right about that. But yeah, it's just like, you know, the guy put up a picture, and he may be watching right now. He had 2 posts on there. He split the pith right down the middle. So both posts on one face had the pith and also the juvenile wood, which is the first with pine. I think it's 10 to 15 years of growth on yellow pine. I wish Danny was still around. I used to ask Danny questions like that, and he always gave me the answer. But, you know, it's going to be a disaster. And they're selling this stuff. I'll tell you what. There's freaking Jeep with us. I'll tell you what, John, it looks like you got a brand new sawmill up there. That big old giant circle mill. You and Mark are killing me with those circle mills. I'll tell you what. Let's see here. 15 years. Okay, there's Corey, 15 years. So with yellow pine, the first 15 years of growth is considered juvenile wood, and you have longitudinal shrinkage, which means if you put your pith on the face of the board, it will shrink in length. It's going to draw the board up. And this information's out there if you just look for it. But I've talked to Robert a lot about this down at Hobby Hardwoods. And I wish Robert would write a book about sawing and drying. Because there's a lot of books out there on stuff like that, but there's no real good book, in my opinion, that really just cuts to the chase on the topic. There's a need for that, I think. There's enough information out there to gather up to write a very good one as well. So, but I don't have time. I'm not a writer, so. All right. Any New Year's resolutions? No, I don't really believe in resolutions. If you're going to do something or change something, you're going to do it regardless of what time of year it is. So I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions. New Year's pretty much just gets in the way. It's a holiday, everything's closed. I like to keep working. I don't like stopping, so I'm not a big fan of holidays, I guess. Let me see here. Cut some bow blades. I probably need to look into that sooner than later. People ask me for those all the time. How do you saw a white elm to make it flat? Thank you, Matt. I'm not familiar with white elm. I'll be the first to tell you. We have elm around here, and the loggers just refer to it as elm. I've never heard of white elm before. So it may be something where you're at. But I will tell you one thing about elm. E-L-M, if you know what I'm saying there. A lot of people can't understand what I'm saying on this channel because they've got the Tennessee dialect. I should start spelling stuff out, I guess. So with elm, you have an interlocking grain. And it spirals as well. So when the tree grows, the grain interlocks together and it twists. That's why elm is so hard to split for firewood. So with elm, you have all that stuff going on. So when you saw elm, it's going to be a mess. It's going to elm is going to be a mess when you saw it because you got the interlocking grain that naturally wants to twist and move. In my opinion, this is my opinion here, and what I've researched and studied on elm. If you want to properly saw elm, you can do slabs if that's what you're after, but you better oversaw it a lot to make up for movement once you can flatten it once it's dried. But the best way to probably saw elm would probably be quarter saw it. And that's how I would saw it. Alright, so it's still raining here. Alright, so I'm trying to answer a few of these, and I look away from the computer when I do, so look over me. Alright, so Corey says down at True South, how about white oak trailer decking? Install green or air dried? Alright, Corey, that's a very good question right there. White oak trailer decking, install green or air dried? So, I'd probably put it on green. If it's me, if it's air dried, If it's air dry, the EMC around here is about 15%. And if it's 6 or 8 quarter white oak, you gotta really dry it slow because of the defects with white oak. I would probably put it on there green. And one of the main reasons I would probably do it green would be the easiness of installation and not having to drill holes in it because it's dry. When that stuff dries, you gotta drill a hole to get a bolt through it, or a screw through it, or a nail through it. It's aggravating. I would probably do it green for that reason alone. But if it's air dried, there's not a problem there either. You're just gonna have to probably drill holes or tell your customer you're about to drill pilot holes for your bolts or screws or however you're attaching it. Because if it is air dried, it's gonna be on a trailer decking, and if you got it covered up and it's air dried to 15%, as soon as it's out in the elements and it's getting rain on it, the moisture is going to go up. So, green and air dry is going to meet pretty fast in the middle, I think. So, that's my reasoning behind that, Corey, is the installation. Cat, do not go on. Cats knock over the darn tripod. I need tripods that weigh 100 pounds. I know the cats won't knock them over. Knock them over all the time. Let me see here. I missed a bunch of stuff here. All right, so John has a good point right here. Freaking Jeep. John saws a lot of lumber. He's probably sawed a lot more lumber than I've even thought about in my career of sawing. He says green, so when it dries, it will leave gaps to let water and dirt go off of it. All right, that's another good reason to put white oak on green. Interesting. Osage orange, yes, I have sawed it, and I actually did 2 videos on it about 2 years ago. Let's see here. Emerald ash borer out of control there, it is. You can look around at the forest and all the mountains around here, and you can really tell it in the summertime because you see those canopies that are still empty with no foliage. It's killing all of them. It's killing every one of them. Dennis will be sitting right here, hurry up. But yeah, the ash borer is everywhere down here. The fire starter worked very good. I used it yesterday, actually. I got a whole bag of it over there. It works pretty good. I like it. Let's see here. Any burl? I have not. No, I'm trying to catch these questions here, guys. So if I miss your question, and look over me, I can only see so many of them here because this screen is just flashing. My internet signal down here is terrible tonight. Maple seems to be dying off as well. We don't have that problem with maple yet, but you never know when some kind of beetle's going to come over on a container and pollute our trees over here. It happens all the time. All the time. Let me see here. What does a slab of black walnut sell for? Depends on grain, thickness, width, length, kiln dried, air dried, green, and your market where you live. There's a ton of variables right there. There's no set price for that stuff. No set price. All right, John's comment as well. The reason I'm reading John's stuff off because he is a wealth of knowledge here. And I would call him one of the old timers, but he may slap me next time he sees me if I say that about him. But anyways, John says after you put the deck on, we're talking about white oak for trailer decking, mixed with diesel, oil mixed with diesel fuel. And a lot of people do that here as well. A lot of people do that for fence posts. I've never done it myself, but a lot of people do that nowadays. Around here, they don't have to do that, John, because around here, everybody's equipment has oil or fuel leaks. So as they transport their machines to job sites, they naturally season their trailer with their machine that's leaking oil. So I know what you mean though. All right, so I probably missed a bunch of stuff here. Let me see. Cody, ash is still pretty cheap here. Kiln dried 4/4 about $2. Still pretty cheap. And the logs, you can't give them away. They're everywhere. People are cutting them everywhere. You can't get them away, or give them away, rather. Roger, new to the channel. Do you make your living at the sawmill? I do. I sure do. Let me see here. It's hard to find Osage orange. Yeah, the one I sawed up came from Ohio. The ones around here are the size of, saplings. They're not very large at all. I think the rain finally stopped. It's been raining since about 4 o'clock. It got to be almost 70 degrees here today. Really odd weather. How many logs did it take you to profit from milling, to get proficient at milling? It didn't take me the amount of logs, it took the amount of information I had to digest. So, anybody can just saw a log, put a log on the deck and saw it for lumber. Anybody can do that with a wood miser, as automated as they are. It's not too hard. But to do it correctly, takes some skill with your brain, not really skill with your hands. So you gotta know what you're looking at, know how to read the log. And I still learn stuff every day. Gosh, I don't even know half of it probably. But it took a while because the information was out there and I had to seek it out. The information is out there though. You just gotta find it and learn that way. Forestry forum is a great place to learn. You don't have to get on there and post and even talk to people. You can just get on there every day and read people's problems, and more importantly, read the answers that follow those problems. Because whatever problem they're having, you'll probably have that problem one day. Forestry forum is worth its weight in gold if you run a sawmill. Good place to be. Alright, so Killinger, where you been? Chris on here with us tonight. If you guys aren't familiar with Killinger there, he's got the little tool handle beside his name. He's one of the moderators. I moderate his channel as well, I think, if I remember right. But he is the guy that makes these fancy suspenders right here. He's making them right now. And this ain't a sales pitch. If you want them, go check out his channel and order you a pair, because who knows how long he's going to be making these for. He makes them for a while, then he quits for like 2 or 3 years. He's a quitter. He needs to stay. He needs to stay with it. But if you want these suspenders, go check out his channel and order some. I have 3 pairs. And yes, I bought my pairs. He didn't give them to me. Let me see here. I saw somebody I knew on here. Where did they go? I don't see it now. Okay, there's Howard in Australia. Hello, Howard. How's it going down there? No fire in the wood stove. I just came down from the house. I went up to the house and had dinner. We had Mexican tonight, which I also call Mexican colon cleansing food. And I came down here to do this live because I've not done one in over a month. And when this is over, I'm going back to the house because I have some bookkeeping to do because it's tax season. So I just ran down here just to do this. But I had this fire going, not today because it was 70 degrees here with this crazy tropical weather. I had it going all day yesterday. And as you can see, I need to clean the ashes out. It's a mess. All right, let me see here. Richard, I saw your note, Richard, but it was actually Sunday night, I guess. Anymore, Richard, here's the deal. Anymore, I took emails and everything off my phone because it's a distraction. So what I do is I sit down like once or twice a week and try to go through them. And I'm getting so much junk now. It takes me 2 days to go through them now. All these offers for video games, all this other foolishness. So sorry, Richard, I did not see that until it was too late. So big deal, East Coast Wings. Brandon, you're probably Brandon. Which Brandon you talking about? Man, my computer it's messed up again here. I tell you what, what's going on here with this screen tonight? I can't see nothing. There we go. Big black beard, yeah. That Brandon, okay. I'm with you now. Yeah, I sold him some wood a while back. He brought me a sticker. I put it over there on one of my machines. I can't never remember his last name. He called me the other day, Brandon something. Brandon Davis, maybe? I have to look on the sticker. I can't remember. Can't remember. Netherlands every week. Well, appreciate that. Renee from the Netherlands. That's awesome. 1:30 in the 1:30 hour at night right here. All right. Well, in Tennessee it's about 7:30. You're ahead of us just a little. There's Freddie. There's Indiana Doug. What's going on there, Doug? Another guy from Indiana with us tonight. Tell you what. Getting sleepy. Outdoor Adventures. Hello, Joe. I did not move the live stream. I just had some free time tonight, and I thought I would jump on here and do one. And I'm not sure if I'm even going to start doing them on a weekly basis again, but I thought I'd just do one here tonight just to see how it goes. There for a while I did every Sunday, and it got pretty good there for a while, back last summer, but I kind of got lazy. Let me see here. Husqvarna and the steel. My Husqvarna is a 372, and my steel is a 461. And right now I like the Husqvarna better. And I can't explain it, but the Husqvarna just feels different in your hands than a steel does. I know it's a different saw and it's going to be a different weight and everything, but it feels better when you run it. I don't know, it's just kind of odd. All right, so honestly, I had no idea you were here in my neck of the woods though until he told me. Well, good deal. I try not to tell people where I'm at because I still have a problem with people showing up here at my home and just showing up out of the blue and just knocking on the door at 4 o'clock on a Sunday. You know, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like that. But that's kind of why I don't tell people where I'm located. But they still try to find out. Jim, okay, 1 second, Jim. I'll answer that. So Nick said something about the LT15. It seems difficult to find the right speed. All right, so I'm gonna help you out there, Nick. Go to YouTube and go look for Hobby Hardwoods. It's a channel down in Alabama. Robert Melton runs that sawmill on that YouTube channel. He's got several videos about how to saw properly, and he's got one video called a rooster tail. Go watch that video, and you'll learn how to watch your sawdust and your blade exit the log. And when you see that rooster tail, you know what I'm talking about when you go watch that video. You'll know you're going at the right speed. Go check that out and thank me later. And watch everything Robert does if you're on a sawmill. He's my go-to guy for answers on stuff I can't figure out, which is usually weekly. So go check that out. Hobby Hardwoods, Alabama. Rooster tail sawmill video. I don't know what the title is, but it says something about rooster tails. Very good stuff. Schoolbone, Tennessee. I have no idea. No idea. That's the stalkers. People showing up. They do, man. They'll drive around to Napa and ask where I'm at. It's crazy sometimes. And they'll just show up, and I'm like, this ain't Dollywood. This ain't, I don't give tours or nothing. I live here. This ain't an actual, I don't have like a business sign at the road or nothing like that. I don't do stuff like that. But, Crazy. All right, so Jim, I'm putting stuff on my main website, and it's going to go on there tomorrow night. So when my video goes out tomorrow night that I'm trying to finish now, it's going to have a link to the web. I'll talk about it in the next video. I'm moving everything from Etsy to my main website because Etsy is charging way too many fees now, and I can get a cheaper shipping charge through my website than I can Etsy. So tomorrow night we're putting walnut on there, some box elder, and some packs of the sassafras, which is the root beer lumber. It smells like root beer. That's going on there tomorrow, man. And you'll probably you'll see it on Patreon before that, though. I ain't talking about you, Richard. You're all right. I know you. I'm talking about the people I don't even have a clue who they are, and they just show up and pull in the driveway, and you're just like, who are you? Crazy. Yeah, Jim. There's a. See, I got them listed. I've just not made them public yet. There's 3 of them. That's really nice crotch slabs. Really nice. And I'm able to get a decent shipping rate on these slabs now through UPS. So I think I can start selling more of them without having to charge a lot of money. Not that I charge the money to ship them. UPS is the one that charges. But it's not too bad. Not too bad. Mama cat, do not hit that tripod. Come here. Hateful little cat. You're wet out there in the rain. Let me see here. Can't wait. Mike Morgan finally gets his new sawmill. Is he getting his new mill? I've not talked to him since last week, I guess. Note to self, cancel trip to Tennessee Sawmill. Yeah. Yeah, it's just crap, I had a guy a few weeks ago who was apparently traveling through this area, and he called my phone and text messaged me probably 10 times wanting to come here. And I'm just like, buddy, I don't give tours. I don't, I'm not here to shake people's hands and say hello in person. Man, I'll tell you what. There's Jim. Hello, Jim. How's Cabbage, and how did Bruno like the Xmas and New Year's? Cabbage is good. He's up there in the house, or the garage rather. Mama Cat's down here with us. Do not knock over that tripod, mind you. Get away from it. Well, the camera shakes, I'm sorry. Got a 20-pound beaver down here rubbing on it. But you can see her down here in the reflection just a little, maybe. Yep, you can see her right there. But Bruno had a good Christmas and a very good New Year's. He went back to school today, though. Yeah, great fishing, Douglas and Cherokee. So Cherokee is an hour this way, and Douglas is an hour, I think, the other way. So it's not too far from here. All right, so I understand, Nick. I done a video on some walnut a few months ago, and I had a guy. The video went out on like a Tuesday, and Wednesday morning, some guy was knocking on my door wanting to buy it. And apparently, his cousin who lives down the road told him where I lived. Crazy. Thunder in the winter. We had thunder here in Tennessee today, actually. I hope it doesn't snow, though. I'm done with snow and I'm done with rain. Everything's a swamp here. It needs to dry up for a change. Nasty weather. Very nasty. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Fred, I don't have a mic. I can't afford one of these mics that go to your cell phone. I'm talking to my phone, so this is about the best I could do. Maybe you should turn up your volume a little. Maybe that'll help you out. Nothing I'm saying is super insightful, so you're not really missing out on nothing at all. So, I know, John. I thought about that after I said it. People would go to those 2 lakes and start driving back and forth. I should probably keep my mouth shut. You're exactly right. What have we been on here for? How long here? 30 minutes. Not too bad. It's odd weather. It was almost 70 degrees here today. Crazy weather. It's still nice out here right now. It's, what is it, 7:30. The barn doors actually are laying over there on my sawhorses. I just have to put them together. I've not even started that joinery yet. I'm starting that tomorrow because I'm sick and tired of moisture coming through this opening and getting on all these cast iron tables. It's getting old. I'm getting rust on these machines all the time. I'm starting my doors tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to finish them in 2 or 3 days. I'm making them out of white pine. I changed my mind about 10 different times on that. I'm just going to make them out of pine and build them and be done with it. Are you planning on planting young trees on your farm as a garden enough to tend? If I could ever get one of, I'm surrounded by 4 different farms. I've tried to buy all 4 of them and nobody wants to sell them. So my goal is to eventually buy one of them, hopefully one day, and I'm going to do a timber stand on one of them and put out a bunch of pine trees and stuff like that. But gotta get the land first, and nobody's interested in selling. Maybe one day they will. What have we been on here for? 32 minutes. Butternut I have, Jeffrey. I've done probably 10 videos on butternut. I've done a lot of butternut. If I hit metal, I resharpen the blade and I reset it, and I'm good to go. It's not a big problem. I think I'm caught up here on most of this stuff. 51 people here, not too bad. Not too bad for an unannounced live, I guess. Least favorite wood to saw is hickory. That's why I burn it for firewood most of the time. Don't like sawing hickory. Aggravating. Let's see. There's Mitch Tucker. Hello, Mitch. Kimberly Cobb, I saw your message there. Sorry to hear about your dad. You see here. There's Mitch Tucker. Mitch, I've seen your name on there a lot before. I've not seen you comment in a while though. Looky there, guys. The streak has been broken. I'll tell you what, we've been on here for 35 minutes and I've been giving you guys all this free knowledge, and I finally get a super chat from Mr. Bond there. That's not the first time he's done that at all. He's been a long time supporter of us here on the channel. So thank you very much there for the super chat, fuel for the tractors. I'll tell you what I need to do there, Mr. Bond. I'm thinking about buying a separate diesel tank just for the tractors, because the sawmill uses a lot of diesel. It's pretty hard on it actually. So there is me a good start on my new diesel tank. That's going to be about $300 for the tank, and another $400 to fill it up, then another $100. So I need about $800, I guess. So, Mr. Bond, that's a good start. Thank you very much there. I was wondering if I was going to get any super chats tonight from you guys. I'll tell you what, I used to do these lives and I would get a bunch of them, and here lately it's got kind of dry, but that's just the way it is. Just have but anyways, Mr. Bond, thank you very much, and thank you for everything you've done for us here, because you've done something like that in the past. That's not been unnoticed. J Bond diesel tank sponsorship deal. That'd be nice right there. I'll put J Bond on the diesel tank when it gets here. When I go buy one, actually, I need to go buy one. Let me see here. All right. So we're back on the other questions here. Most important purchase other than a sawmill is a kiln. If you have a sawmill, I think you need a kiln if you want to really maximize your profits and make the most money that you can. Kiln is very important. Not a lot of sawmill guys have kilns, not very many at all. So if you have a kiln, you can take your lumber and not only sell it as kiln dried, but get the money that comes with that. Very important right there. You can sell green wood all day, and green wood does pay the bills, but to sell wood that's kiln dried, that's a whole other level right there, guys. A whole other level, a whole other revenue source right there. Sometimes it quadruples the amount of money the wood is worth. Sometimes more than that if it's walnut. Richard with the 556 right there. That's a good number right there, Richard. Got another super chat there from Mr. Richard, another long-time supporter of the channel. Appreciate that, Richard. That's one of my favorite numbers right there. 556. Outdoor Adventures. Let me see here. You need a tractor to move stuff around, or a skid steer, or I even at one time had to use a four-wheeler and a log arch. So that's all I had. But what's the best money maker, slabs or lumber? It depends on your market and where you live and what people want. You have to do that marketing and research on your own. You know, I can tell you what sells here and maybe the next town over, but down in Atlanta, Georgia, it may be totally different. Amateur woodworker, first time YouTube subscriber. Enjoy your, well, thank you there, Richard. Let me see here. OTW sticker that says, welcome to the Sawmill, friends. Not a bad idea. Maybe a shirt. Maybe do a shirt that says that. I like that idea. I have to write that down. Contact your supplier. So our supplier for fuel tanks here, they've been out for like 2 years, John. You can't get them. The only way you get a fuel tank here is if it's propane, which ain't gonna work on that, but it's going to Royal Keener Tractor Supply and catching them coming in on a truck because they're gone fast. They're still hard to get down here. But a 300-gallon one, that would be super nice. But also, man, that would hurt when you fill that up. Man, it'd be expensive. Welcome to Sawmill Friends idea. That'd be a good idea. Put that on a shirt, maybe. See if we can sell a couple hundred of them. Oh, bad idea. Need to write some of this stuff down. I forget this stuff by the time I go to sleep tonight. All right, so we got 2 super chats here tonight, Mr. Bond and Mr. Richard. What's joined above the wood stove tile board? So that tile board is actually a heat shield. There's a gap between it and the stove, and that's cement board above it. And by the time I hang tools, well, that's behind the pipe. I don't know. I'll probably won't put nothing on there. I'll probably just leave it, I guess. I not even thought about that, to be honest with you. My wife doesn't like this heat shield right here. She says it doesn't match anything. And so I got cedar up here as well now. You guys will see that in the next video. I'll put a bunch of cedar on this wall. I got the wall pretty much finished. So, I don't know. I'll probably just leave it like it is, maybe. I don't know. We've been on here for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. All right, so here's a super chat from John, and I would attempt to pronounce your last name, John, but I'll probably get it wrong. John asks, would you advise people not to try to build their own kiln? It looks difficult to get working just right. So it's not, I built my own kiln, my smaller one. It's now a chicken house because I have the new kiln, but it really depends on your finances. So my kiln, if you order that from now with the chamber, you're looking at about $38,000. And about a week of 3 or 4 men putting that thing together, not counting your concrete pad, there's another $5,000. So that puts you up to 43. If you've got to do some grade work, maybe 44, 45, counting gravel hauled in. If you have to hire somebody to help, maybe 45,000 you can build. If you're handy, you got some friends, you can build it yourself. It really depends on your money. If you're tight on funds, you can stick build a kiln. It's going to take you longer. It's going to be expensive, not as expensive as buying a modular chamber like mine or buying a container. For the same price, I think Nile will sell you a container. So it really depends on your budget, how much you want to go into or something like that. It's very possible to build your own kiln. Excuse me, I built my own, and I enjoyed the process. I learned a lot from it, but it gets expensive as well. So my kiln up there or the chicken house is like 8 by 10 with a 7-foot ceiling. You don't need tall ceilings in a kiln like that design. And I think at the time I built that one, counting the kiln unit, I think I had $10,000 in it. And Dad helped me out on a bunch of it. But it depends on how big of a kiln you want, which size you want to build. L200, L53, maybe it's a different brand. That's not even Nile, I don't know. But if you can afford it, I would buy one that comes in and you put it together, or buy a chamber that comes in, like a reefer unit that comes in and it's ready to go, because you're drying a whole lot faster. You won't stick build your own kiln in a week because there's so much insulation that goes into it, so many gaps to fill in, so many the doors, and having to get them just right and tweaking them. It's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take you a while. So how much power does yours use? Okay, so I just dried pine in my kiln, and it took about, gosh, how long did it take? I think it took about 14 days maybe to dry that pine in the kiln, 14 days. And that was the kiln running 24/7, 14 days. And I think it cost, my power bill was about $188 for that meter out there for drying that lumber. So that ain't too bad. I think power's going up. They're saying rates are going up right now, so it may cost more than that in the future, which is not good news. But that's just, you got to factor that into the price of your wood and just raise prices to counter everything. Electric, yes, it's 220. It's 220 volts, no propane. The LT70 is awesome. It's ridiculous. That's the funnest sawmill to run. God, thing's a blast, guys. I tell you, that's a very fun machine to operate. And the kiln's going great. Everything's going good down here. Just need more hours in the day and less rain. I'll be good to go. So yeah, the heat's electric. I answered that. The heat's electric. It doesn't run off propane. It runs off 220. I think the whole entire unit, when I put my voltage meter, I think I'm pulling about 35 amps. When the heater's running, the compressor's running, and all the fans, maybe about 30 to 35, something like that. The heater, I think, pulls more than anything. The compressor pulls about 20, 15 amps, maybe. I can't remember. I've checked that stuff so many times. Can't remember right off. All right, so what are we into it here for? 45 minutes. It's going on 8 o'clock. And I have got to get in the house because I have more freaking footage to edit from today. Always something to do, guys. Always something to do. At least a lot of people are watching the channel right now, at least. Views are up pretty good from this live. Thank you there, Jeff. Duke Energy went up because of cold December. Yeah, you're probably right. Our house heat bill this past time was $300, I think, for December. So we're on the line for an LT70, but it's not going to be here till like 2024. It's worth the wait, I tell you that. I had to wait a little while on mine, and it's worth the wait. I tell you that LT70 is a fun meal. Man, it's fun. Excuse me. All right, now, so where are we at here? All right, do you have somebody service your equipment when it breaks down, or I do it all myself? I tell you, if you run a bunch of equipment, have tractors and machines and planers and motors, you got to learn to be proficient to work on just about anything. And here's some good advice. Not only that, have a good circle of friends who know how to work on stuff. You know, have a guy that you can call and kind of pick his brain on HVAC stuff for your kiln, and have another guy that you can call and ask him questions about hydraulic pumps. Because you can't do everything and be a master at it, but you can have a good knowledge of all these different things. You've got to be able to work on all this stuff and do the best you can. But my secret is on my equipment, if I have something that breaks down, after my initial looking at it and trying to see what's going on, if I get stumped on it or need advice or there's something way over my head, I can get my phone out, and any problem I have here, I can call somebody and I can get an answer, or at least get pointing to the right direction within a few minutes. That's very important. Have a good circle of friends and a good circle of buddies that know how to work on stuff, who are like-minded, that have stuff like you have. I tell you what, I should charge for that advice right there. But let me see here. Might be time for a WM1000. No. They don't have WM1000. It don't even have hydraulics. I wouldn't have one. I like my LT70. I wouldn't mind having another LT40 one day. I love that LT40. If I had another building, I'd have kept it. I love that 40. John, you're exactly right. Let me see here. Would you ever want to shoot a video on how to operate the stations of the LT70? Probably not, because to be honest with you, the only people that would watch it would be the people that want to run a 70. And I would probably just lose money and time, to be honest with you. I'll tell you what I'll do. Next time I'm up there sawing, I'm not sure when that's going to be. I got to build these doors in here. I'm not going to do anything else until these doors are done. Next time I'm sawmilling, I'll kind of show some stuff on the joysticks and try to explain it the best I can. So that's what I'll do. If I did a video just about that, nobody would watch it. Is it better to stack green logs directly on the ground, on telephone pole? I don't stack them on nothing, guys. And it gets people all tore up in the comments and blah, blah, blah. You go to a commercial sawmill or a large sawmill like True South or, freaking Jeep or my friend there. Hello, Mark DeLacy. You go to their sawmills, you're not going to see stuff on the ground, so their logs are off the ground. They're just piled up on the ground. Nobody does that, guys. Let me take it back. There's probably somebody out there that does it, but 99% of the people running mills do not do that. There's nothing to gain from that. The ground contact is, it is what it is. see here. But Mark Galati's here. That's one of my other favorite YouTubers there, guys. Go click on his channel. And him and freaking Jeep both and watch them run those circle sawmills. I'm going to own me a circle sawmill one day. One day. John has a new one. Maybe John will donate his other one to me. Since he don't need two, I'll come up there and get it, John. I'll bring it down here. I'd love to have one of those old circle mills. Not that I need one, but man, I'd like to have one. I'd love to run one. I got a picture of an old circle sawmill from up in Virginia that I saw while I was on a bicycle back in 2009. And it piqued my interest for sawmills that I forgot I had when I was younger. And that's the reason I got into sawmills. Was seeing this one sawmill in Virginia in 2009. And I have a picture of that sawmill in a frame. Actually, I have 2 or 3 of them. I got 2 or 3 copies of it. I need to hang one up down here. But I've always been drawn to those circle sawmills, I tell you. If I wouldn't have saw that sawmill that day on that bicycle, probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. Notice freaking Jeep didn't respond when I said donate his smaller mill to me down here. It would be easier and less painful to hit your hand with a hammer. I know, John. I know. I gotta get me one, man. I tell you, I gotta get one day. Gotta get me a circle mill one day. It's on my list of goals here in the next 2 years. This year, though, I got to put a pole barn up. I need to put all these tractors under shelter. Got to get them under shelter, guys. I've also got a timber frame to build on another concrete slab. I got a lot of stuff to do here. Why do you find the diesel engine on the sawmill preferable to electric? Well, I don't have 3-phase power for one. An LT70 also, the new LT70s are only coming in a 55 horse diesel. It doesn't even come with electric. And I just like the diesel engine when it comes to sawmills. I think you get torque that's not, you can't compare it as far as the torque that you get from a diesel. And it's just my preference. I'm sure the electric ones are fine. Mike, we should go to Elizabeth and see if he wants to get rid of that thing. We'll haul it home. There's John watching from the Philippines. Never in my life would I thought somebody in the Philippines would watch me here on my channel in Tennessee. That's amazing. But in all seriousness, guys, right there's Mark Galashi and right there's freaking Jeep. Those guys have fantastic channels where they're showing off their circle sawmills. And if you like circle mills, go check them out, man. Great videos right there. I can watch those mills run all day long. Now, I mentioned I want to get me a circle sawmill. I think I mentioned that earlier. I'll tell you what, Mike, there's a few, I know of 2 places in Elizabeth where there's sawmills underneath just broke down barns, just laying out in the middle of fields. We should approach those guys and see if we can do some trading with them. I'll tell you, I'd like to get one. Would love to get one. All right, man. Okay, so I had a super chat here and I missed it, John. Sorry. Here's a super chat from John, $7. When you're sawing lumber, do you pretty much already have the lumber sold, or does it take you until you build up an inventory? All right, let's go on a field trip. Let's do something different here. All right, unplug this phone. All right, so turn you guys around. Hope I don't turn this thing off. So here's some of my inventory right here, man. Right there's yellow poplar. There's some rainbow poplar behind it. Red cedar. There's pine. When I sawed all this stuff, such as the cedar, I sawed it for a buddy of mine who makes little boxes out of it. And we do trading. I don't even sell it to him. The pine, I've been sawing pine for Shiplap. Don't that shiplap look pretty good? Look at that. That's a little sneak preview for tomorrow's video. It looks pretty good, don't it? So I've been doing shiplap, or solid pine for shiplap for that purpose. Now the poplar, I sawed it for some cabinets and for some shelves here in the shop. All right, show you something else. Walk around here. I should do this more often. It's better just sitting there the whole time. So back here, we have nothing but black walnut. Got slabs right there, and got 8-quarter lumber. And here's the deal. I've gotten so busy making these videos here in the past few years, I don't take wood orders no more. I rarely even sell lumber if it's not online or to some local people that I deal with, because there's not enough time in the day. I had to make a decision when I started doing these videos, and they got more and more busier, I guess. Let me put you back on the tripod here before I drop you. It won't take much for me just to turn this thing off. So I've gotten so busy doing these videos here, and they take so much time that I do the videos full time now. Like the sawmill, and I still do. It's for my own uses, or for my dad, or my buddy down the road, or something like that. So you know, back in the day, I took orders, sold a lot of lumber back in the day, but you know, right now, that's in the position I'm in. I do videos, and that's the main business now, are these videos. And that could end tomorrow. I mean, it could end tomorrow. And if it does, it does. And I'll go back to selling wood full time and be tickled to death because I love doing it. But yeah. Let me see here. So look at there, guys. The second super chat of the night from Mr. Bond. I tell you what, man, he's lighting it up tonight. That's $100. Call Wood Miser and tell them to get my new sawmill done ASAP. If I had any pull there, Mr. Bond, I would call up there and tell him. I tell you that. It's what's the holdup on it? Have they told you they're waiting on a part, or an engine or something? I know some guys are waiting on radiators right now for their sawmills. Dust collection. I have a Harbor Freight dust collector. It goes to my big planer. It also goes to my table saw. Then I have another dust collector over here that does my molder and my 16-inch jointer. Waited on the motor, yeah. So I've talked to guys up there. I've talked to Daryl, and Mama Cat, do not knock that over. I've talked to Daryl. He's the president at Wood Miser. I've talked to him many a times. Talked to him at the Paul Bunyan show, and they were just telling me it's just frustrating. Like Kohler and these manufacturers, they've gotten so behind, and they just can't catch up. It's like they're constantly just trying to swim upstream. And it's not a matter of money. He was like, you know, they would pay more for these engines. They can't get them. The people say, well, go with a different engine. Well, gosh, there's not a whole lot of engine makers out there that you want to put an engine on something and actually buy it and pay a good price for it. You know, so I wouldn't want to go to Harbor Freight and buy one of their little, you know, little tiny, you know, dinky engines and putting on a brand new sawmill. I want one of those nice Kohlers that are, you know, fuel injected and got plenty of power. But I tell you, when I talked to Mike Morgan last, he's getting an LT50. I may be giving this away. I don't know if he's not told this yet or not. Then I didn't tell you. You didn't hear this from me. So he's getting an LT50 with a diesel, and they've been waiting on a radiator for several months on his. I reckon it's ready to go. So Mr. Bond, yeah, it's 10. That's about the going rate. And I've been to the Wood Miser factory. They gave me a tour when I was up there to get my 70. I've been all over that place, and they would love to have the parts there and get those meals out to people faster. Believe me. shelving up on the wall. That's a good idea. I never thought about that. I may do that back here on this fiber board. That's a good idea. Never thought about that. Hmm. So, yeah, so thank you, Mr. Bond, the big super chatter of the night, and John and Richard and a few other you guys. I can't remember your name right now. It's like James from Ohio was with us here. I missed his comment up there somewhere. Jointing and planing, circle mill takes a little bit longer. Yeah, I've not really done a lot of it through my machines. Pete's a good call. All right, so Curtis says, probably a silly question, why can't a mill blade have teeth on both sides? So what he's asking is, with the wood miser, when you saw through, why can't the blade have teeth on the back and saw on the return? But here's the reason why. You have a flange on your blade guide rollers. And the blade guide roller, there's about let me see here, the gap. So that's the tolerance from the wheel. So your blade gets pushed back against that blade guide roller. And sometimes it will hit the flange if your alignment's not right, if your blade's going dull. So think about it. You got your blade guide roller right here. This looks silly, don't it? I'm sitting there making, I need a chalkboard. You got your blade guide roller that your blade is going on, then you got a flange on your blade guide rollers. So that keeps your blade from coming backwards and coming off. Because if that wasn't on there, there'd be nothing to stop the blade from coming off. So if you had teeth on the back, you would be sawing into your flange the whole time. Now, having said that, there are some large commercial sawmills out there that have a giant band mill, and they got bands that are like 4 and 6 inches wide, really, really wide blades. It ain't a wood miser, it's a different kind of sawmill. And it does have a blade on both sides, but it's on a totally different system, totally different. And on those, the log usually travels back and forth on a carriage, and the blade doesn't move either. So they do exist, but the wood miser model would never work. You would be sawing directly into your flange, and you'd have to have no flange on there for that to work. And then when your blade come back on the forward trip, it would come off the rollers and come off your blade, hit your blade guide arm, pull it into the side, cause a wreck, and then you're getting on my videos commenting, what do I do? And I gotta answer you. So don't do it. It's not a good idea. Let's not do it. So that's why. All right, so there's not a guide blade. It's just open. It's just open back there. You just don't want to. There's no guide. It's just you do your alignment with your blade guide rollers by moving them forward or back, and you have to have a certain gap. You got an 1/8 of an inch gap between the back of the blade and your flange on the outer side, on the drive side. You have a 1/16 of an inch gap. I run mine at 1/8 and about 1/4. I run mine a little bit bigger because I run 1.5 blades. And this probably sounds crazy, all this stuff I'm throwing at you here at once. Brian, thank you for watching, and thanks for your wife for watching as well. I don't get many females that watch my channel here. And I don't understand that because I'm a good looking guy. But for some reason, I think if you look on the analytics, males, it's like 99.5% just men. And the age range for my videos is like 65 and older. Nobody in their 20s is watching this stuff because they probably don't want to learn how to work for a living. If you are 20 and you're watching, then good on you, but most of them are not. So, let me see here. John is still with us there, Mr. Freaking Jeep. John's up there contemplating if he's going to donate his sawmill to me or not. I think he's going to. Thank you there, Dan, 36. I'm 43, so we're not too far apart. But, there's Keith. Which coffee bag are you currently on? I am drinking 18. What am I drinking? No, I'm drinking Folgers right now. I'm poor right now. I got a bunch of Folgers a while back. I've been drinking that. It's not too stout, but it gets the job done. Somebody sent me some of that Black Rifle stuff, and Carbide Teeth they do. I never tried one. Somebody sent me some Black Rifle coffee, but it's like I think all the coffee is made at one place out there somewhere, and they just put it in different brands and different bags. I think it's all the same. Well, John, I'm just aggravating you there, John, but I am one day, John, going to try to get me a circle sawmill. That's going to happen. That's going to happen right there. Video post on cyberbullying. I have not. I didn't know they was making videos anymore. Ouch on the age comment. Only 57 here. Yeah, if you look on my analytics, it says like 65 and older. Well, Miss Teal, thank you for watching us. I appreciate that. 6 to 7 cats, you need to get some more. No, I do not, because cats are expensive. Cat food ain't cheap. Wormer ain't cheap. Rabies shots ain't cheap. Chickens ain't cheap. Ain't nothing cheap. I'll tell you what. Oh, I hit a nerve. Hopefully I didn't hit a nerve there. I retired from Folgers. That's okay. It's okay. I got used to that premium Dunkin' Donuts style coffee. I got used to that stuff. It's kind of hard to go back from it. You see here. It specifically addressed YouTube channels being bullied. I'm 62 here in Missouri. I'll check that out. Call both Mark and me before you pull the trigger. John, before I pull the trigger on a circle sawmill, you're going to drive down here and we're going to go look at it. So I'm going to make you grab Mark and drive down here. But that's probably 2 years in the... That's probably shout. I'm reading too many comments. That's probably 2 years from now. I need to do some other stuff first. Hello, Mr. Doug, husband of Sherry. Thanks for watching there. Shout out to Doug. Hello, Doug. Roast my own coffee. I've never done that. It's interesting. Tell you what, this little live here has gotten quite busy in the past. We're over an hour now. My goodness. It's gotten pretty busy here in the end of it. I need to get to the house though. Let me see here. Black Rifle imports their own coffee. It is prepared at Salt Lake and just south of Nashville. It's it. Okay, I didn't know that. Learn something every day. Learn something every day. Thank you, Richard. I did not know that. I got a bunch. I got some of that a while back. It was good. They put a Black Rifle down in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge. I drove by it. I didn't go there though. What model stove? This is a U.S. stove. They sell these at Tractor Supply. I think it's good for 1,500 square feet. My shop's 1,200. My dad bought this stove brand new for about $800, and he decided he wasn't going to use it, so I traded him a whole bunch of lumber for it. Actually, I think I owe him more lumber now, come to think of it. I do owe him more. And the pipe, I got about $2,000 in all the pipe. The pipe's what's expensive. That insulated pipe, man, that stuff's high. Let me see here. The fire starter, yes, I'm totally getting behind here on the comments, people. So if I missed your comment, I apologize. David, that's a good way to have it right there. Retired from the Navy, always have a cup close. There's two things I have close to me all times, except for right now, because I'm talking about it. I have an axe and I have coffee. I always got those close by. Let me see here. Folgers Crystal is easy. Me and my wife are mid-30s and love watching. Well, thank y'all for watching. I wouldn't really say anything bad about younger people. It's just that there's, on my analytics, the people from like 15 to 25 or 27, it's like less than a point on the percentage of people that are watching. They're too busy on those other platforms where you scroll every second, I think. All right, I'm really losing comments here. Instant coffee should be illegal. I'll tell you, you guys are funny tonight. Why'd you upgrade from the LT40 to the 70? Because I wanted the biggest, baddest sawmill Wood Miser had. That's the main reason right there. I would have been just fine on my operation running the 40. It served me well. It was a great mill. I just wanted the big one. I wanted the powerful diesel. I wanted the fast hydraulics. It was more for me than it was for anything else. It wasn't for the business. It wasn't for the YouTubes. It was for just me personally. That's what I wanted. All right, so we got retired airlines captain and Navy fighter pilot. Yes, Top Gun qualified as an aggressor. Top Gun. I'm missing some stuff here. Up to Top Gun. All right, so hundreds of your videos that you've watched, I don't believe you've ever seen one with Mrs. OTW, not even accidentally. I'm guessing she might have a strict rule in place. You are correct about that. She don't want to be on video, so she chooses not to be in the videos, and that's fine with me. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. If she wanted to be in them, you know, I probably show her sometimes doing some stuff in the garden, or that she's the main caretaker of the chickens. But you know, is your wife in witness protection? No, she's actually in the house right now watching Tennessee Vols basketball right now, which is what I wish I was doing. I'm not a big sports fan, but I keep up with Tennessee college sports. I do like watching their basketball and football. Go Navy, man, I'm missing some stuff in here. Got some Air Force and some Navy talk here. This is awesome. Where we at here? All right. John, you got that bigger mill because you knew sooner or later you was going to hand me down that smaller mill. That's the real reason there, John. But that's a good looking mill, John. That is a very nice machine. Very nice. There we go. Thomas run an LX 150 on his Missouri farm. That's awesome. No better place than a sawmill than in a farm. There's no better place for a sawmill than a farm that needs lumber for farm chores. That's the best place you'll find a sawmill. It's going to be used exactly what it's needed for. You can't beat it. Okay, Sam, we're not building walnut doors. I talked about that earlier. We're doing white pine, and the reason is because of the size of them and the weight, and because all my 8-quarter walnut back here is spoken for. I got a local cabinet maker needing some pretty bad, so he's in a pretty bad pinch. So I'm selling it all to him. So therefore, we're gonna do pine, but I'm actually starting those tomorrow. The lumber is on the sawhorses. And let's see here. Been on here for a long time. My goodness, an hour and 20 minutes almost. Man. I love these little conversations between you guys. They kind of take on their own there, and I love to get involved with them. That's awesome. A lot of Army and Navy and Air Force talk going on here. All right, friends. It's 8:25. I've got to get in the. Well, here we go. What's the thinnest you can cut on your saw? I've never measured it with calipers, but gosh, I could pull off 1/8 of an inch. I think pretty easily. See you later, John. Come back when you can leave sooner. I'm just aggravating you, John. Enjoy your channel. I'll thank you there, Thomas. All right, so thanks to everybody for the super chats tonight. Those are greatly appreciated. They go in the fuel fund for the tractors. And I think we're done here. Yep, I think we're done here. All right. What time is it? Yeah, I've been on here for over an hour. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to close up shop and go and, what was that that just popped up here? What was that? Okay. Things are popping up on my phone here. So you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all probably tomorrow. I'll have a video out tomorrow night. More than likely. Tomorrow night. Y'all have a good night.